Okay, so we know what a computer is, right? It's a little tower that sits under our desk that, plugs into our monitor and our keyboard and stuff plug into it. And we use it all for all kinds of stuff. But how does that compare to a server? Right? So what's a server? Well, your computer can be a server, right? Like when, say we're in a small office and we got several people with these computers. And we got one over here, we got one over here, and let's see, we got a person with a laptop, right? So how does one of these guys become a server? Well, if we have, let's say we have a share set up, or a folder set up to where this guy can access it, and this guy can access it, this guy here is acting as a server. I mean, it's still just a desktop. It can still be the same components and machines that you buy, but just the fact that we're sharing these components, it makes it technically a server. It doesn't have to be files. It could just be a certain printer that, is shared, that's connected directly into this guy that you want these other guys printing to. It could be a website, right? So we got the cloud out here that's wanting to pull information. It could be doing HTTP from your machine if you have stuff configured right. But odds are, once your business gets bigger, that having this workstation act as a server doesn't make as much sense. I mean, eventually you'll get so many nodes out here accessing this component that it's gonna start feeling slow. It's just a commodity piece of hardware doing the work of, something that's a little bit more higher end. So when you go to Dell and configure a server, there are several different options. You'll see like they have desktop, floor. They have them in the tower form factor, just like your desktop. So if you don't have a rack or an enclosure to put it in, you can just put it on the floor. But as you grow, they have servers that sit in racks. It's very similar component. I mean, it's the same idea. That's just a server, just in this very, very thin form factor. Then when you break it open, it has all these same parts that we showed on your desktop machine. But quite often, what we'll see in a server, like when you buy one from Dell, is more redundancy and higher quality components, because this guy is a real workhorse. Like what you won't see on a home machine is dual power supplies, right? So if I turn this guy around, I look at the back, there'll be a box over here and a box over here where I've got a power cord and a power cord, so that both sides are powered separately. So if this guy here has an issue, or burns up by chance, so if we have an issue on this one, power can still go on this cord and power this unit. So it's fault tolerant. It has redundant components to make sure that the uptime, it has a higher uptime. Other details is the RAM we talked about before. It might be error correcting code. So it just might have logic built in so that when there is an error, that the RAM can say, oh wait, this one is wrong, it should be this other value, and can help prevent a blue screen when a failure would otherwise take the system down. Many components can be hot swappable. So when you have a disk fail from your hard disk drive, you can often just hot swap them. Hot swap. And that means you can basically yank one out, put a replacement back in, and you don't have to power the system off to do that. Another common trait with these machines is you don't necessarily have to have a display hooked up to it. Many server rooms will still have displays available, and they might have it set up to where there are multiple servers in a larger rack, that there's one server with a set of switches. As you click this switch, it goes to this one, this one to this one, this one to this one, and so on, and you share one keyboard amongst all these systems. But it's also just as likely that you can use another machine over the network to connect to and manage these boxes directly. And that really saves a lot of time and is really beneficial for the admin, that if he can go in through a VPN, it's a horrible cloud there, VPN, like from the internet, he can connect to that and then connect back to his boxes to admin them when they're down.